Indian Prime Minister Modi met Bangladesh's interim head Yunus on the sidelines of the BIMSTEC summit in Thailand. But while Yunus was keen to cozy up to Prime Minister Modi, presenting him with a picture and seeking to sit beside Modi during dinner, there is mounting anger in India against Bangladesh's interim government head Mohammad Yunus. In fact, prominent leaders including Tripura's Tipamotha party chief Pradyut Kishore Debbarma now says, quote, "Rather than spending billions on innovative and challenging engineering ideas, we might as well break up Bangladesh and have our own access to the sea," unquote. So what has Yunus done to prompt such anger in India, a country that has never attacked any foreign nation? All this stems from Yunus's recent visit to China, where he commented on India's northeastern states. Yunus called Indian Seven Sisters landlocked, highlighting a potential strategic vulnerability, and then invited China to invest in Bangladesh, close to the Seven Sisters and the strategic Siliguri Corridor. Now, while China is free to invest in Bangladesh, Yunus's comments on Indian states suggests intent of undermining New Delhi's sovereignty, something Bharat will never tolerate, especially from a much smaller and weaker nation. Yunus, it seems, is trying to play India against China, but he himself is forgetting that not only is India prepared to stand up to China, as seen in Galwan Valley, but Bharat surrounds Bangladesh on three sides. Any miscalculation by Yunus could invite the wrath of the world's biggest standing army. Yunus's miscalculated comments have sparked fury across party lines in India. Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma slammed Yunus by describing his comments as offensive and strongly condemnable, and warned how they reflect deeper strategic considerations and long-standing agendas, unquote. In a long post on X, he stated, quote, "Referring to seven sister states of Northeast India as landlocked and positioning Bangladesh as their guardian of ocean access is offensive and strongly condemnable. This remark underscores the persistent vulnerability narrative associated with India's strategic chicken's neck corridor," unquote. Opposition Congress MP from Jorhat, Assam, Gaurav Gogoi, mentioned that comments made by Yunus come especially after Indian Prime Minister Modi reached out to Yunus and wrote to him about sharing stronger ties with New Delhi. But Yunus went on to undermine India's sovereignty and territorial integrity. Shiv Sena MP Priyanka Chaturvedi told news agency PTI, quote, "It's a very shameful comment. He's mentioning regions of our country to move the China agenda. I feel India should take tough stand on it. It endangers the safety and security of the nation," unquote. So what strong stand should India take? Yunus today is an independent man because India fought a war for Bangladesh's independence in 1971. Today, the temporary head of Dhaka is undermining India's security. It just shows you just cannot trust certain people. But what exactly did Mohammad Yunus say?
Seven Sisters, they are landlocked country, landlocked region of India. They have no way to reach out to the ocean.
During his 4-day visit to China between the 26th and 29th of March, Yunus said Northeast India is landlocked with no way to reach out to the ocean. He called Bangladesh the only guardian of the ocean for all of this region, referring to India. Now, in a bid to lure China, Yunus dared to urge Chinese President Xi Jinping to establish an economic foothold in Bangladesh by leveraging this so-called strategic position. By mentioning India's northeast, he is urging China to use Bangladesh to exert pressure on these Indian seven sisters. Yunus elaborated, quote, "We are the only guardian of the ocean for all this region. So this opens up a huge possibility. So this could be an extension of the Chinese economy. Build things, produce things, market things, bring things to China, bring it out to the whole rest of the world," unquote. Now, Yunus's remarks come at a time when India's relations are already fraught with Dhaka and have hit an all-time low over unchecked attacks on minorities inside Bangladesh. At BIMSTEC, Prime Minister Modi reminded Yunus to keep his anti-India rhetoric in check, if he seeks peaceful relations. Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri revealed, quote, "The Prime Minister also urged in this regard that any rhetoric that vitiates the environment is best avoided. On the border, strict enforcement of the law and prevention of illegal border crossing is necessary for maintaining border stability and security." Earlier, it was the turn of Jaishankar to quietly hit back at Yunus's landlocked jibe, saying, quote, "We, after all, have the longest coastline in the Bay of Bengal of almost 6,500 kilometers, unquote. China, meanwhile, is keen on making further inroads in Bangladesh. Xi Jinping has assured $400 million assistance to develop Bangladesh's Mongla port, apart from another $350 million to expand the Chinese industrial zone in Chattogram. But these are merely peanuts compared to what Yunus might have been dreaming of. In December, Yunus's aide and member of Bangladeshi interim government, as well as a hardline known Islamist, Mahalouz Alam, attempted to sow discord among people in northeast and northern India on social media. In a post on social media, which he quickly deleted, Alam released a controversial map depicting Indian states of West Bengal, Tripura and Assam as part of Bangladesh. Now, he also spoke about annexing some of India's eastern and northeastern territories. Earlier, Yunus had claimed the same guy, Alam, was the mastermind behind the protests which led to the democratically elected Sheikh Hasina's ouster. In a bold response, New Delhi hit back at Dhaka. Ranveer Jaiswal, the Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson, said, quote, "We have registered our strong protest on the issue with Bangladesh. We understand that the post being referred to has reportedly been taken down. We would like to remind all concerned to be mindful of their public comments," unquote. But do Yunus's comments made in China matter? Certainly they do. Yunus's comments are a continuation of Dhaka's recent moves, which are aimed at undermining India's Siliguri Corridor region. Remember, the 22-kilometer-long strategically vital Siliguri Corridor connects mainland India to its northeastern provinces and houses several Indian Army and Indian Air Force stations. Chinese presence near this region can be misused to collect intelligence on Indian military positions and, in a conflict, even threaten Indian supply routes through here. Recent intelligence reports even suggest how Pakistan's ISI is now active in Bangladesh and is employing Rohingya refugees and Islamist hardliners in Chittagong, once again in an attempt to undermine India's northeastern regions and the strategic Siliguri Corridor. The corridor has been the focus of Chinese aggression as well in the past. Beijing has been desperately brainstorming to gain alternative access to this corridor. Recent remarks made by Yunus in China only indicates that Bangladesh would be willing to join the Chinese efforts against India, again the country which gave Bangladesh its independence. The betrayal is evident. Talk about biting the hand that fed you. China is also threatening the Siliguri Corridor through Doklam Plateau, as it continues its efforts to construct border infrastructure close to this strategic location. Doklam Plateau is a major bone of contention lying at the tri-junction of India, Bhutan and China. Now, China claims Doklam as part of its own territory like it does everywhere, while India and Bhutan recognize Doklam as historically being part of Bhutanese territory. Beijing continues to raise irresponsible claims to Indian northeastern territories. Arunachal Pradesh is an internationally recognized Indian state, but China refuses to accept the truth and calls it South Tibet. Somewhat hilariously, CCP also occasionally renames certain places in Arunachal to no effect at all. China is also weaponizing water, especially against northeastern India, and has approved the construction of the world's largest dam on the Brahmaputra River near the Indian border, which raises the threats of man-made floods. Through his comments, though, Yunus has highlighted the need and importance for northeastern states of India to have their own access to the sea. Now, this can happen via the Sitwe port in war-torn Myanmar and the Kalaran multimodal transit project. Or should India take a more direct approach? Maybe India should pursue its own Suez Canal through Bangladesh's Chicken's Neck and connect Tripura to the sea via a waterway passing through Bangladesh. After all, Bangladesh's Chicken's Neck too is only 20 to 30 kilometers wide, and a canal or waterway through here could benefit everyone without India having to annex any Bangladeshi territory. But what do you believe? Leave a comment with your opinion, hit the like button and subscribe to Inconnect News.